It is 9:57 a.m. and I had a first trade since last Monday, and I think I've been a bit hesitant when it comes to trading things, but in a good way. Whereas before I would maybe hesitate on setups that are looking nice and then I miss out on them. This was just something where I don't really want to trade something that just doesn't really seem that good. But I did have an interest in this one. It does trade kind of weird, and I think it's a bank stock, so it's not necessarily going to trade all that nicely, especially if it's a New York exchange stock. So it's not like a regular Nasdaq. But this thing is actually working now, but the way I wanted it to work, it didn't happen. I was watching it. It was kind of weird the way it would just kind of trade back and forth and then kind of sell off and then try again. But it overall goes over a pattern that worked out, which was just something that sold off in the morning, found a bottom somewhere, and then is trying to regain itself as well as the overall markets because of the whole bank thing. I think it's just healing itself or whatever. And I liked it because it did uptrend ultimately, despite the fact I didn't do it the way I wanted it to. But at 9:49, I did enter right here at 883 because it finally broke above this range above 879 and I got in at 883 and I wanted it to just really spike up and then continue the uptrend, something like the way this candle was, how big it was, something towards the upside. So when I got in and it just got a little bit higher and then it just had like a sell off, I didn't like that. I wanted it to be, straight to the point and aggressive, and I did sell for that reason at 881 the same minutes, and that was it. It did consolidate for a few candles, and this thing is just horrible with trend lines. I had one right here, it breaks, and then it uptrends, and then I had one right here off of this trade, and then that one broke, and then it tried to regain itself. So this one just trades very choppy, and it makes sense because that's the type of exchange it's in. And it did break above $9, so it is trying to turn around, and it might try to break the day high, which is 917. That's totally possible, but I think I should have just probably looked at something else that isn't so weird to trade. But it does work overall. It's just very hard to use this one with trend lines, which is something that I like doing a lot. That's pretty much it for right now, and I'll make an update later. It is 9:33 p.m. and I want to just finish this off. I had that one trade with NYCB and it did work out. It just didn't really necessarily work out the way I wanted it to, where when it did the breakouts right here at 9:49, which was actually a pretty good time to buy at 883, I wanted it to continue and be like a nice big green spike. When it was kind of hesitating a little bit, I got out. I was barely in the setup for that long. It was like maybe 9 seconds because it almost looked like it was going to do one of those things where it tries to break out a level and it actually does it, and then it just sells off and then it goes the opposite direction and really down. Because I've seen that happen a few times, and it did eventually work out. Maybe if I just had my risk level being a close under VWAP, since it did officially break past the VWAP, close above VWAP, and the next candle past it was also above VWAP, I could have had it maybe again with that risk right there, and it actually got to the day high, which was 914, and it got as high as 939. So there was definitely potential. Let's just see. Best case scenario, what a sell at 929 would have been a 5% gain. So not really that much, but I guess because it was a more expensive stock, it would have been that much more profitable. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just that one trade with NYCB. It did continue, I think. No, it sold off. Yeah, this one sold off, but it's still pretty impressive. And that was it. There wasn't really anything else I was interested in. This one did uptrend, but I didn't like it because it was a halter. Maybe something with dips under VWAP perhaps, but I didn't trade it. It was just that one setup there with NYCB, and that's it for today.